Okay, so coming back to our discussion on constructor, so we have seen how we can create a constructor which assigns initial values to the data members of the class. And when we create an object of the class, okay, these values are initialized to the data members. Now you might be wondering that when you did not write this constructor, that time also you created the object in exactly the same manner. Okay, so what was happening? You did not declare the constructor, but it was still working. So let us again comment out this whole thing. Let me comment out the constructor. Okay, let's see now. Save and compile. It is compiling successfully. Run. So you can see both length and breadth are taking the value 0. So both are 0, so area is 0. Same for rectangle 2 also, both are 0, so area is 0. So what has happened is in the class rectangle, when you don't declare a constructor, or you don't write a constructor, in that case the JVM provides a constructor of its own, and this is known as the default constructor. So what the default constructor does is that it initializes the data members to the default value of that particular data type. So if it is a integer, it will initialize it to 0. If it is a double, it will initialize it to 0.0 or something like that. If it is a strings, now strings are a special type of data, so it will be initialized to null. Okay, so the default constructor will initialize the data members to the default value of that specific data type. So here I have both are integers, so default value for integer data type is 0, so both length and breadth would be initialized to 0. But if you look at this, I will again comment this out. I'll remove the comments. Now I have a constructor rectangle here of length is 10, breadth is 5. So now the moment I create a constructor of this type, okay, see, it does not have any arguments. There is nothing in between the parentheses. Okay, so the moment I create a no argument constructor like this, the default constructor does not exist anymore. You cannot write the default constructor anymore. So default will be only when you do not have a constructor. You have not written any constructor. The moment you write one constructor, it will not exist. The default constructor will not exist anymore. Now in this case it is not so much visible because this is what? This is a no argument constructor. You are not passing any arguments to it. So your constructors can also be of where you can pass some arguments. Just like in this method, you can see you are passing one argument int L. So in this constructor also, because it is very similar to a method, you can pass arguments to it. So we'll see that in the next video.